Dear friends, the Russian Federation, or Russia, is again acting as the big black bear that everybody's talking about, everybody's praying about, especially relative to their war or conflict with the country of Ukraine that was once part of the Soviet Union. And so, I will relate to you my Russian experience because to me, much as I agree that we have to help Ukraine, but we also have to understand and also to pray for the poor people of Russia because they are as much victims of President Vladimir Putin as the people of Russia and the people of other states that surround Russia, and I'm talking about and these countries too. People are very worried, and I have visited these countries in 2019, and they too are, it is as if that they expect Russia to again attack any time of the day, and this was in 2019. And I visited these countries to include East Germany, Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Hungary, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. So all these satellite countries are on the edge. All these countries are worried about what is happening, especially the political and military peace and order instability in Russia. So I would proceed with my in retelling my Russian experience. You see, even while we visited Russia as tourists in October of 2019, we too felt that there was really something off. It's as if Russia was really living up to its name, to be a country where you have to be careful. Well, in fairness, crime rate is not as high as compared to other crime-ridden countries. But, before arriving to Russia, and we entered Russia via Tallinn, the capital of Estonia, and we entered Russia through the border town of Narva. There, we were already alarmed. We were already cautioned by our tour guide not to take pictures of the border police or the office along the border. And this was in relative peacetime in 2019. And when we checked in at our hotel, the Sokos Hotel Olympic Garden at the Bataysky Peryulok area of St. Petersburg, we were asked to submit, to submit and to deposit our passport and visa, and we were just asked to bring a copy of it anywhere and everywhere we go, and also pictures of it. So in my long travel, this is the first time that I encountered a country where the hotel requires you to deposit your passport and your visa. So there you can already see that this is not an ordinary country, that it remains in a lesser extent to be behind the Iron Curtain. And although tourists like us were free to go anywhere, but we were always chaperoned, and we were always being cautioned to be careful in going around. So especially not to in social media, not to say anything bad against President Vladimir Putin or his military or Russia itself. So that is something that is unique to me. And the only time I experienced something like this was in Turkey, when a policeman stopped me from taking picture of his BMW motorcycle, and also crossing the border of Israel to, or of Jordan to Israel. We were also stopped because we were bringing a mosaic, a rough mosaic stone picture that they thought to be a projectile. So my wife had to be searched because she was the one bringing it. She had to be searched and stripped by a female Israeli border control officer, just to ensure that she's not bringing anything from Jordan into Israel. And there were armed Israelis everywhere, and the same atmosphere was existing when we entered Palestine. So, but these countries are, really on the edge, and it is understandable that they are suffering, or they are in a constant state of readiness and constant state of conflict between the Arabian and Israeli countries. But in Russia, we were already expecting this, but we thought that Russia has already improved after the breakup of the Soviet Union and the existence of the Federation of the Russian Federation, but no. For those planning to go to Russia, not now, but in the future. So take note. These are things that excuse me, that still exist in Russia. So meaning freedom, for especially for the Russians, and to include tourists like us, are not yet they're not. This is not yet a communist country, but it remains a somehow a shadow of its old self, where like China, where people are being watched, people have limited freedom not to criticize the government, not to take protest actions, because that would merit an immediate arrest, as is happening now. So I'm just telling you all of this to remind everyone that while we are praying for the people of Ukraine, let us also pray for the 144 million people of Russia whose children are being led to the slaughter, especially in Ukraine, fighting at this now. And we have been monitoring reports stating that Russia, while it has prepared its soldiers for a long-range country-to-country war, it has not prepared many to the street-to-street combat as is existing now in Ukraine, especially with the Ukraine people joining the military to put up a strong fight, and foreign European countries and the US and other countries helping out. So Russia, unlike the US, is not really a rich country. Whereas the US has the world's largest economy with a gross domestic product of $21 trillion, Russia's GDP comes in only at 1.48 trillion. And with the embargo, with the economic sanctions against Russia, then it is the poor people that will suffer, because right now Russia isn't really rich, and many of its resources are going to the military. It is in economy, it performs lower than the United Kingdom, Italy, or France. So this is a country that has, just like North Korea, whose people are really suffering because the leaders have exhausted all the resources in military build-up. So the Russian people are victims too. It is only the leaders who have better life, the politicians, the military generals, the military officers. And then let us pray too for Ukraine, of course, the 44 million people there, because they are considered to be a poor country. You know, these are countries that have been controlled and that had not been allowed to grow by Russia. And the same is true. Well, of course, for East Germany, because the German people are always resilient. The German people are always inventive. The German people are economically good businessmen and performers and with resources. So they were able, West Germany was able to, to uplift quickly the economy of East Germany to be progressive as it is now. But the other countries that recently in the 80s and the 90s, the satellite countries that recently freed themselves away from the clutches or from the chains of the Soviet Union, like Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Hungary, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. These are countries that are just beginning to grow economically. These are countries that are just beginning to become politically strong. And these people, these countries bordering Russia, they are also victims, These are people who you cannot sleep at night with Russia being the main supplier of gas. They don't know that the gas that they need for their basic needs, including to keep them warm from the wind, from the extreme cold weather, whether it will be cut off, and whether after succeeding, let's hope not, to invade Ukraine, it might go to neighboring Estonia or Hungary or Bulgaria or Poland, where people from Ukraine are fleeing. So this is a very complicated problem. This does not only involve the people of Russia, the people of Ukraine, but the people of many other countries as well, and all of us, all over the world, who are dependent on oil, with oil prices going up because of this crisis. So let us really join hands in praying for the people of Russia, people of Ukraine, people of Poland, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Hungary, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and the people all over the world. Let us pray to the heavens above for guidance to President Putin to stop this military posturing to gain attention from the world, to gain power, to expand the territory of Russia, and to prevent former Russian countries or states from joining the NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So all of this come into play, and what I'm worried about, having visited these countries in 2019, are the people. The people are always the casualties of war. The people are always the ones who pay the ultimate price of war. So these are my thoughts on this matter, and if you like it, please share it to other people. Let's storm the heavens with prayers. And I would like to thank you for joining me in my VlogCaster Armand Dean YouTube channel. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll be doing more blogs about this issue. Sorry for those who are accustomed to hearing me speak in mixed Filipino and English language. I want to be able to address world leaders and the people all over the world with this issue. And that's why I have spoken in straight English. I hope anyone, anywhere in the world will understand me and forgive my different way of speaking. This is how Filipinos speak English, but we hope to communicate, and we hope to join the world in praying for Ukraine and Russia, the Russian people, not the Russian officials, and all the people, affected people in Eastern Europe, and as well as Northern Asia. So, see you in my next vlog. Mucho y más gracias a todos ustedes.